Hello everyone, in this video I'll be talking about how you can use your experiences in your applications for Inns of Court scholarship applications, but also in the future for bar course applications and pupillage applications. Now, in the presentation I said that it's really important that you evidence where your personal qualities come from. It's not enough to just say that you're passionate about the law and you're really good at advocacy. You've got to be able to show that, and hopefully in this video what I'm going to try and do is give you a technique for being able to show that. These are some of the personal qualities and attributes which you will have to demonstrate through your applications. They include intellectual ability, communication skills, working under pressure, commitment, sound judgment, and integrity. Now, you won't have to show all of these all the time in equal amount, but it's a good rule of thumb to try and get a balance of all of them in all your applications. So again, what you're going to have to try and do is evidence that you have these personal qualities through experiences that you have. Now, the first thing I want to say is don't leave out interesting things because you don't think that they're not legal or relevant. If there's something that's really important to you, that you're passionate about, that's important to who you are as a person and to why you want to be a lawyer, it's really important that you keep it in. Don't leave it out because it's not directly relevant to the law, or it's not from a legal experience, or you think that it's got nothing to do with law at all, because they can be relevant if they're able to demonstrate those attributes mentioned on the previous slide. You can make them relevant by demonstrating that this is evidence for the qualities necessary to become a good barrister. So I'm going to share with you a technique which can be used to turn your experiences into evidence in your application that you have what it takes to succeed at the bar. A lot of people fall into the trap of just describing what they've done and hoping that the panel will draw the conclusions necessary. But it's really important, as we've said, that you do more than that you do more than describe what you've done, and that you are able to show that this is evidence for you being able to succeed at the bar. So the STAR technique has 4 stages, the first being situation. Now, this is the trap that most applicants fall into, as mentioned previously, is that they spend too much time on this first step and just describe what happened. However, just describing what happened is not interesting, it's not relevant to the reader. What they want to know is what was required of you. What did you do, and what actions did you take, and what was the outcome? So really don't dwell too long on this step. This is just to set the scene so that the reader knows what's going on, what the general situation was. The second aspect is task, which is what was required of you. Again, this is brief. This is just describing the challenge or the task that you were faced with and what you needed to do, what you were asked to do, what you were required to do. Again, just give sufficient detail. Don't over-egg this. It's just to give the context prior to describing what actions you actually took. The most important part of your answer, and the most relevant part and the most interesting part for the person reading, is this next section, the third step, which is A for action, where you answer the question, what did you actually do? So you've already set up the situation, you've already briefly described what was required of you, and in this section you can demonstrate what competencies you have, what qualities you have, and you can evidence those through the actions that you took. So what did you say? What did you do? What did you organise? What did you develop? What did you create? Those are all active things which will be directly relevant to your application and will demonstrate skills that you have. And in this section, you can reference the competencies that were involved in performing those actions. So make sure that this is the focus of your answer and that you're not just describing the situation, but really emphasising what you did in that situation, because that is how they will evaluate that as evidence in your written and interview applications. And finally, and also an important part, is the result, which is how you show that your actions led to a positive outcome. So this is where you reflect on what you did, show that those positive actions that you took and those good qualities which you believe are really, really strong, how they led to positive outcomes. You can also reflect on what you learnt and what you did going forward based on this experience. So what this means is that you can take any experience, whether it's from your extracurricular life, from your professional life, from your academic life, and turn it into evidence for the qualities which are necessary to succeed at the bar. And it's really important that you do this, because it might well be that you've got a lot more to say about the non-legal aspects of your life than you do about the legal aspects at this point, because you're right at the beginning of your career. Thank you for listening. If you have any more questions, feel free to head over to the question and answer session, which you can find by clicking on the left hand side of the screen on the sessions button, and then click on the Q&A session, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have as best I can. Thank you.